today I'll be talking to you all about finding accommodation in France as a student. There are also things that I'll be mentioning about the types of accommodations that are available in France. What are the things that you need to keep in mind before you're looking for houses? Before I came to France, things were a little confusing. You know, there are different kinds of accommodations here. So I just want to clear everything and make this video as short and detailed as possible. There are different types of houses in France. First is a studio, T1, T2, T3. First, I'll be talking about studio. So studio is a one-room apartment. For example, there's just one room, and in that one room you have your kitchen, your bed, and usually it's a convertible bed, so it's like a sofa which can convert into a bed. You have everything in just one room. So it's really small and it's basically for students. T1 is similar to a studio, but it's just that you have like a separate kitchen, and the kitchen is not in that one room like in your bedroom. So that's the only difference in studio and T1. T2 is a two-room apartment, but two-room in France is not two-bedroom, it's the living room and the bedroom. So there is one living room and then there is one bedroom, which is a T2 apartment. T3 apartment is usually two-bedroom apartment, so there are three rooms, that's why T3. So there is living room that is counted and two bedrooms, so that's why T3. For example, if you want to share an apartment and live with a friend or someone else, so you need to look for a T3 where there are two bedrooms, that way you have your own separate bedrooms. And if you are more than two people, then of course you can go ahead and you can look for like a 4-bedroom apartment or a 5 or 6 or whatever. Now I'll be talking to you all about things that you really need to keep in mind before you're renting out an apartment. So first thing is the extra charges. In France, you need to make sure that the amount that you have decided to pay is inclusive of all charges. Sometimes you have to pay those extra charges separate from the rent that you're already paying. For example, let's say you're paying a rent of 500 euros, but you have to pay extra 50 euros for electricity, water, gas, Wi-Fi, internet. Usually most of the houses have everything inclusive, so you need to make sure to ask questions to your landlord about if there is Wi-Fi in the house, if the electricity and the water and gas is included in the rent charge that you have to initially pay. Another thing to keep in mind is the location. Location is key. Like if you are a student, you should not really stay very far away from your university or school, because in France there are strikes that happen usually and transportations get affected. So you don't want to be paying a lot of money to go to school on a strike day where you're paying a lot in Uber or taxis. So it's better to be somewhere close to your school, not too close but not too far as well. Okay, so now I'll be talking to you all about what are the different places where you can find accommodations in France. I'm doing the same work, so I thought it is the best time to make this video, because I know that a lot of students will be coming in September intake and everyone needs to find a house to live, because when you're applying for your visa you need to show the contract, the house contract paper as well. So everyone must be looking for houses, and I hope I can help you guys with this video. The first place where you can find accommodation is usually with the help of your university or your school where you have applied. So they tell you what are the places where you can apply in. My school sent me a website called Studapart. So Studapart is great for students. It's a website made just for students specifically, so that finding houses in France is not super difficult, because sometimes in France you need guarantors and you don't have guarantors. So in Studapart, they even become guarantors for you, so you just have to pay a little extra. For me, I found my first accommodation through Studapart because honestly I did not have enough idea about where I can find the best accommodation, the best price as a student. So the only website that I knew about was something that my school had provided, which was Studapart. So I found my first accommodation through Studapart. The second place where you can find your houses is through Facebook groups. Sometimes the students in your school have made this group in Facebook where if the old students are leaving a house, they put a picture of that house and they tell you that this house is available and you can contact the owner or the student itself, and that way it's very easy. And another thing to keep in mind is that if you're coming in France, you really need to have Facebook account and a messenger, because most of the people in France use messenger to talk to people. So it's super essential. I did not have a Facebook and I had to get one just so that I can be in touch with all the new friends that I was making. So the third place where you can apply or find houses is websites. There are different websites, but don't trust all the websites. Sometimes you get scammed, but I know this one website that I've before talked about is Leboncoin. You have to know about this website if you're in France. I have already spoken about it in my previous videos, that it's super important if you're in France. I think it's the best place to find a cheap, good accommodation in France. I am looking for my accommodation through Leboncoin. I'm actually gonna move to Lille for my next semester, so I'm telling you, like, I know for sure that Leboncoin is really good, and the only problem is that it's in French, so you need to contact the people in French. So it's not a big problem, like you just need to go to Google Translate and just translate, and in your translation make sure to mention that you don't speak French and that you're using a translator, because sometimes translations can do weird funny things and you don't want to be stuck in that confusion. Okay, now fourth and last and the cheapest option out there is cruise. Cruise is something that is founded by the French government to help students live in much cheaper prices. So these were just few information that I could give you about living in France and finding accommodation. If you don't already follow me in Instagram, then please do. I am super active there and I can answer all your questions in Instagram, so please go follow me. If there are any videos that you would like me to make about studying in France or anything related to that, or just lifestyle or whatever, just comment down below, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.